into our weekly update, and yeah. You know what's interesting is I thought about doing this episode in two parts. I thought about doing it before, I thought about doing it before and after. So like I was feeling really good before the half marathon, and then I decided not to put too much on myself. So this review, this weekly update, was written sort of as a lead-in to this marathon, this halfway to the holidays marathon that I was running. And what ended up happening was I wrote the notes for it, but I never actually got around to recording this. So so I was gonna change it. Like, I have the notes from it, but I think it's important for you to hear what I was thinking before I went into this marathon, and then when we get to the main topic, you'll see sort of how things played out. But so last week, basically Saturday through Friday, I only ran one time. I ran 5 miles on Monday, and it felt good. Like, I felt like I had something in the tank. I was feeling really good. Legs were good. Towards the end of that 5 miles, like 10-minute miles, I was like, wow, I felt like I could have run faster, but I knew I wasn't going to. And I got to the end of it, and I was pretty sore, but I wasn't like, it was sort of like, okay, that was a really good test for where I'm at. So we're just going to leave it alone, and we're going to see how we do on Saturday. So what I wrote in my notes was, this taper has been one of my most mentally challenging but physically beneficial, because I wanted to run. Like, I felt like I could go out and run, and I decided not to. So I was like, I'm doing it. And mentally, I was like, I want to do it, but I'm not. So mentally, it was tough. But I said, I could tell on Monday that another gear was there to unlock. So I rested out the rest of the week. And so in my mind, I felt like I was doing really well. Like, I felt like I was in a really good place. So to have, we will talk about it in the main topic, but to have things kind of fall apart at the race, it's interesting looking back at these notes, and I think it's important to have these notes in there, because this week as a whole felt exactly how I think it should have felt, and it didn't go well for whatever reason. We'll talk about that in the main topic. But essentially, for my taper week, my final taper week, I really just ran one 5-mile run. I did do some walking because I was still in a steps challenge, but it was like a couple of miles walking, nothing aggressive or anything like that. And I did have, I did have some nagging groin pain, but it wasn't anything that I felt. I told my son on our way to the race that I felt the best that I had felt in a very long time, certainly before any other marathon. So I was like, keep in mind, I'm only 2 months out from my last marathon, so it's like this was feeling good. Like maybe we're gonna do good. So you can probably tell it didn't go that great. But at the same time, leading up to it, it was feeling pretty good. So it was a taper week. This week is also kind of like, I don't know if taper is the right word, but I'm staying in like a light training mode, because one, I'm not feeling the greatest after I ended up only doing a half marathon, which that's sort of like burying the lead there, I guess. But I will throw this up here. So my next race this is going to come through a little weird because it's got an invisible background. But my next race is the Little Miami 10K. Let me see if I can bump this down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to be doing this on August 2nd. So another race that I have to do, and this one I'm actually going to go all out for. I'm not feeling the greatest, so I'm going to try to heal up from the half marathon that I just did. And hopefully, I've never run a 10K officially, and all of my 10Ks have come as part of either half marathons or marathons, so I'm always being super reserved. This is going to be an opportunity for me to just go out there and run 6 miles and bang it out. So yeah, that's this week's training is looking ahead to that, and it's basically leading into another taper. I'll talk more about some of my strategy going into that race in the main topic. So, but in terms of our weekend review, I can close out the halfway to the holidays marathon training discussion. It was week 9 of training with a solid taper week. Ultimately, the race did not go the way I wanted it to. Again, I'll talk more about that in the main topic. But in terms of the training, we did a 5-mile run on Monday, ran the race on Saturday. No running between the two. So, and I was feeling pretty good heading into it. So,
no quit, no quit, no quit. Building their wall, building their wall. While they talk about us, all they talk about us. Educated, experienced, still not credible. So we embraced it. Now we're uncredible.